Joining us now is the aforementioned Dan Ives, managing director, of course, at Wedbush. What do you mean the recovery story has begun?
The comeback story for
Did it
Tesla.
need a comeback?
I think it did, because they had massive headwinds in China, and now we're seeing the comeback play out. Now, 2Q deliveries next week, I think that's really going to be the last of really some of the worst that we've seen in China. We're starting to see a mini recovery in China. The comeback kid story for Musk is starting with, of course, Robotaxi Day in August. I believe this is a stock that's going to have a massive run second half of the year.
What do you think has been, then, that headwind that you talked about? Is there one thing you could point to?
Look, EV demand's clearly been soft globally, but it's really about China. I mean, China was a massive tailwind for years, became a headwind, but now, Brian, you're not seeing those price cuts anymore. So you're starting to see stabilization. China demand starting to increase. And I think the stock's telling you, and we believe next week's just another sign of it, is that the worst is in the rearview mirror for Musk and Tesla.
Recently, Wedbush analyst Dan Ives made some resounding statements, saying that Tesla's comeback has only just begun, and adding that the upcoming presidential elections in the United States could be a major key in defining Tesla's future. This is because one candidate being elected would be great news for Musk's company, which has faced numerous challenges of late. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about why Ives is bullish on Tesla, how would the presidential elections affect the company's future, and why Tesla stock is still a good buy for investors. But first, if you want to keep up with Tesla's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video.
If Trump wins and rolls back some of these EV financial incentives, don't know if he will, but let's say he did, would Tesla have a natural advantage over its customers because of its price point? In other words, are they kind of, dare I say, a Trumpy portfolio type company?
Oh, I'd say, Trump pro-Musk, and I'd say it's bullish. A Trump presidency would, at the end of the day, be bullish for Tesla, negative for EVs. Then we saw that when you showed that across well, Rivian and others. And I think it also speaks to the Biden administration. Musk has really been an afterthought. In a Trump administration,
well, he's been actively ignored.
Actively.
President Biden, I think 2 weeks ago, tweeting out something like, "We're going to make EVs in America," and like he got ratioed, and people are like, Tesla,
and
already does.
And I think if Trump's in the White House, Musk gets more front and center. That's bullish for Tesla, especially if you start to see those EV rebates roll back. Negative for the industry, bullish for Tesla.
But that's the point. If somebody decides to buy an EV Silverado from GM, in part because they get $7,500, right? If that goes away, they might say, I just can't pay for that. I'm going to go with the Model X.
And they've already scaled. If you look at their scale and you look at their pricing, they are in a massive position of strength. And that's why I think as you start seeing more signs of Trump presidency, that is bullish for Tesla.
Dan Ives stated recently that he believes that Trump in the White House would be good news for Elon Musk, and by extension, Tesla, whom he believes was actively ignored by Biden's administration in favor of union-made electric vehicles. Although Trump has always been very critical of Biden's administration's continuous promotion of electric vehicles, justifying this by saying that Americans should always have an option of buying gas cars, Musk has mentioned recently that Trump openly told him that he is a big fan of the Cybertruck, bearing in mind that Trump has been vocal on numerous occasions about his admiration of Elon Musk as an investor and entrepreneur. He even stated recently that he might offer Musk an advisory role if he wins the presidency. Ives believes that with Trump in the White House, Musk would get more front and center. It would not be too surprising for him to see Trump's administration openly supporting Musk and Tesla, as it is already among the companies that can function without federal tax credit. Furthermore, Trump's administration is known for its pro-business stance, which includes tax cuts. Not only that, they are also known for not being super strict on regulatory aspects in business. These two factors combined can lead to an economic atmosphere that is in favor of businesses like Tesla, which can lead to an increase in investments and consumption rates, subsequently leading to an overall economic growth. And on top of these imaginations, there are also other factors that can play a key role in Tesla's future, as the company is witnessing big changes as we write this. So what happened exactly? Let's find out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Investocracy.
What about, you mentioned that you think EVs, or you're projecting that EVs are going to be 75% of the market in 5 to 7 years. So what happens when you have, let's say, a Trump presidency who seems to be highly anti-EV?
So interesting to see Elon Musk and former President Trump cozying up to one another again, isn't it? And I actually think, if you think, in terms of Tesla becoming the marquee auto manufacturer here in the U.S., I think he'll rally around that. Trump he's very practical.
It's a great insight. I love how you have this view of Elon. He's doing that for a reason. He's not a knucklehead. He's doing it for. So why does he send all these political tweets? Do you have a rationalization for that?
I think Elon has learned that no publicity is bad publicity, and he's just out there effectively advertising himself and therefore his cars.
Brilliant answer. Thank you.
For years, Tesla has suffered in the Chinese market as they faced a significant challenge in the demand for its vehicles, due to the intense competition as local electric vehicle manufacturers offer a cheaper alternative to the American Tesla. The year 2023 was quite disappointing for Tesla China, as the sales were very poor and inadequate. Yet on the contrary, 2024 has been a good one for Tesla so far. A prime example is the last week of this year's June. In the mentioned week solely, Tesla China has witnessed 17,500 new vehicle registrations, a record for the electric vehicle giant in the Chinese market. Moreover, according to many reports, Tesla has been trying to boost and expand its sales and service teams in China, rehiring many of the staff members who were laid off during the company's latest layoff round. So, after a long wait, these challenges in the Chinese market are finally starting to diminish, which is massively contributing to Tesla's comeback story. How important is China to Tesla? The Chinese market comes second for Tesla in terms of revenue, generating around $21.75 billion in revenue, coming right after the American that generates $45.2 billion. And in any case, an improvement in a gigantic market like the Chinese market is definitely big news for any company, taking into account its staggering 1.4 billion population. In addition to this news, Tesla is set to unveil its self-driving robotaxi in August, and according to Ives, this is expected to be an incredible catalyst that can push Tesla's market cap to an astounding $1 trillion again. With all of this in mind, what do investors think of Tesla's current stock? Let's find out. But first, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Investing in Tesla, brilliant man, somewhat tormented, but in his own words, he even said, I shoot myself in the foot so often, I should invest in Kevlar boots. When he says something like that, I'm wondering, what kind of guardrails are there to protect us investors from his natural tendency? I mean, I love the man, but I'm kind of like, and Kevin, I think sometimes you're frustrated by some of the things he does as well. So I'm just kind of curious on your take.
Yeah, and I've had the privilege of meeting him and the team around him, which is really important. So I think, and Robin Denholm, chair. So learning about the people around him.
Robin's great. I met her at the shareholder meeting last year.
She is amazing, very solid, very objective, very, and so having met him, I feel like I know him in a way. He cares so much about humanity. It's a big weight on his shoulder to save us from ourselves environmentally. And, whether it's, prevent censorship or whatever, he is a very good person. And I realize he says crazy things, and, he is a little Trump-like in some ways, because what I say to our investors, I watch what he does from a technology point of view. He is so laser focused, more than any CEO. And the other thing he has going for him that I don't think very many CEOs have going is he's a maestro of the convergence among technologies that is taking place in this technology revolution. Robotaxis or autonomous taxi networks are, the convergence of robots, energy storage, and AI. Most people, when they think of a company like Tesla, they think of autos.
Sure.
He wasn't thinking that way at all. And I think he's capitalizing on, the convergence among technologies, and will continue to do so in a way that is going to surprise people, I think. So for my own, we have to, of course, do our due diligence and make sure that, that the management is strong and intact and has the right kind of incentives and all of that. I think a lot of what he has done and been rewarded for is this thought that no publicity is bad publicity. And so it gets everybody talking and up in arms, but he says what he really thinks.
Yeah, fair.
There's conviction there. So, again, we just have to, and we regularly have calls with the management team around more so than Elon. Right? But we do meet with Elon from time to time. I don't like to meet with CEOs too often, just because we need to keep objectivity, and really the business people around him, who are executing have to have their leadership,
Like
and he's a
Martin,
real
maybe,
leader.
from investor relations. Martin, I know he just left, but
Yes.
he was always a good
Oh, he
person
was
as well.
wonderful.
Dan Ives believes that Tesla is indeed on its way to a $1 trillion market cap from its current $620 billion, despite the stock being down 20.3% year to date after closing at 197 recently. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest's CEO, who's known for her extremely bullish opinions on the electric vehicle company, has recently revealed her new price target prediction for Musk's company, valuing it at $2,600 per share by the year 2029, with a bear case price target of $2,000 and a bull case of $3,100. The new price target forecast expects robotaxis to represent 63% from Tesla's overall revenue by 2029, electric vehicles to represent 23%, and the remaining 1% to represent the revenue from insurance and energy storage. Wood expects Tesla's revenue to reach unprecedented heights, $1.2 trillion by 2029, and EBITDA to stand at $440 billion. And if Wood's price target prediction comes true, this would consequently enlarge Tesla's market cap to range between $7 trillion and $10.9 trillion, making it the world's most valuable company. This isn't Wood's first big prediction for the electric vehicle giant. Back in 2018, Wood's bullish predictions on Musk's company weren't taken seriously. But later, they proved those who laughed at them wrong. And in addition to their carefully manufactured vehicles, Tesla is working on a humanoid robot named Optimus. And although it's expected to launch in 2025, it's already being utilized in Tesla's factories as of the time of this video, allowing Tesla to test their newest innovation and helping them reduce labor costs across all sectors. And while it's hard to predict the revenue of these two brand new innovations, as there is no existent market for them where you can measure upon, some analysts estimate Optimus's total annual revenue to land up at $1 trillion and robotaxis to get as far as $700 billion. So, given everything we've talked about, there's a lot surrounding Tesla that can easily lead to a significant growth in terms of market cap and revenue, especially with the company's recent surge in sales and its development of new inventive technologies. Tesla stock is inarguably a very good buy for the investors, as it remains one of the most futuristic companies of our time. But what do you think about Tesla's stock? Is it a buy at the current price? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to tell us what your valuation for Tesla is. If you would like to know what companies like Tesla have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.